Oh, hi there. Mr. Goodbody, partially woke. And this is my third video in 3 days. Just trying to remind you how committed I am to this new channel. Today, I wanted to talk to you about winning. Like Charlie Sheen. What is winning? Is winning spending a bunch of money on a bar attorney, travel expenses, wasting your time in court? I mean, that's what I'm going to be talking about. Winning, like when it comes to authority figures and courtrooms and stuff like that. Do you really want to be trying to convince a bunch of corrupt, colluding, power-tripping extortionists that you're not guilty? Are you not already innocent until proven guilty? I'm thinking that I win every time that I stand my ground and never back down. That's winning to me, because most of these power-tripping cops and attorneys and judges are just trying to bluff you. You got to call their bluff. If they get you back into obeying them and stuff, their job is done. Back into submission. What's the word I'm looking for? If they get you back into back into the system, that's their goal, because then they're making revenue again. And I wanted to have a word about hiring attorneys with you as well. Did you know that bar card carrying attorneys are not allowed to do anything that upsets the court? For example, a bar attorney would never be allowed to demand that the prosecution fill out a W-9 form or anything else to go against the court, because they would lose their bar card. This information actually came from a bar attorney, as a matter of fact. There are attorneys that have a great deal of respect for what we're doing, because they're literally unable to do it themselves. So you got to stand up. I wanted to also read you a little something here. Pay careful attention to this. The individual rights guaranteed by our Constitution can be compromised or ignored by our government. For example, in the United States versus Johnson, Federal District Court Judge James Alger Fee ruled that the privilege against self-incrimination is neither accorded to the passive resistant, nor to the person who is ignorant of his rights, nor to one indifferent thereto. It is a fighting clause. Its benefits can be retained only by sustained combat. It cannot be claimed by an attorney or solicitor. It is valid only when insisted upon by a belligerent claimant in person. That's McAllister versus Hinkle. The one who is persuaded by honeyed words or moral suasion to testify or produce documents rather than make a last-ditch stand simply loses the protection. He must refuse to answer or produce, and must test the matter in contempt proceedings or by habeas corpus. So you need to stop messing around in fear, controversies, statutes, and other self-limiting ways. Create the law you want with the corporate entities. Once you realize who you are and why your true identity and power has been kept at bay, you won't even believe how much power you have. I mean, really. So you got to know who you are, know what you are not, know who and what you are, and know what you are not. You have to be working through your anger, because pretty much all of us have an anger issue of dealing with this oppressive system our whole lives. We have to deal with our anger, resentment, and blame issues. Nobody wants to play the blame shame game, and we're actually responsible for our whole entire universe. So don't blame. Take responsibility. You have to stop being a victim in life. Stop with that victim mentality. You have to realize that only you have the power to make you feel. Let's stop for a second, because that's real important. You need to take some time to think about what I just said. You're working towards treating all others with understanding, patience, forgiveness, empathy, and tolerance. And you offer yourself in service to others at some points throughout your day and week, and your law or agreement documents are correct. That's winning. Standing up, no matter what they do, they could, whatever, How many people endured persecution throughout their lives for standing up for what they believed in? Lots of them. And that's the only way we can achieve change, is by being healthy ourselves to begin with. So I'm already getting to the end of my 10 minutes. I just wanted to read you a little excerpt from my book, Acting with Honor and As King. This is the first edition. Second edition is now available at shop.freedomfromgovernment.org. The ebook is free. Free. This chapter called Fear. Guns, handcuffs, tasers, clubs, pepper spray, jail, fines, injury, and even death are very, very valid things to be afraid of. All of these things you're afraid of, though, rely on the actions of others. There's no reason to be scared of a gun without somebody pulling the trigger. There's no reason to be scared of handcuffs without someone putting them on you. There's no reason to be scared of a club if no one is swinging one. There's no reason to be scared of jail without someone there to lock you up. What is the common denominator in all of these things that you're scared of? They all require the actions of other people. We must realize that all we have to do is interact properly with other people, and as a result, you'll have no reason to be scared of any of these things. Your fear belongs to you and you alone. So am I scared of these things and the people that use them and what they could possibly do to me? Of course I am, but I don't let that be reflected in my interaction with them, ever. Let me tell you a little secret. No matter what happens to me during the life I'm living, letting fear dictate my actions will corrupt the results. Just like fearing death, there's no reason to, because it happens to everyone, and there's no way to predict it when it will happen to you. If you let it, though, you could probably worry about death to the point that you couldn't function, but what good would that do? So why let fear dictate your actions if you can't predict the future? Live in the moment. Do not allow the future or past to control what you do right now. No one can predict when the Grim Reaper is going to come knocking, so all you can do is live in the now and enjoy it. You only have one opportunity to live this life. Something as simple as the sound of a police radio static or handcuffs clicking can trigger a response. You're going to jail is the response, and trick you into responding in such a way to bring you into their jurisdiction. Like touching a hot stove, you immediately react. Maybe you've heard of Pavlov's dogs that were trained to salivate at the sound of a bell. You have to recognize these tactics and not let them affect you. They will do whatever they can to try and change your mind. The attorneys, police, and judges are allowed to say things. They're allowed to lie to you. But these tactics are just to get you to play. Keep in mind that they will usually not carry through with their threats, especially if you stay in honor. No one wants to go to jail, get shot, or beat up, so they have a pretty heavy control mechanism in place. You can be sure that they have studied mind control and psychology in serious depth. Look at their resources. They have plenty of money that they have tricked everyone into giving them. To think that they have not mastered controlling the human mind is naive. Learn about mind control. Once you see that it is there, it will no longer be able to affect you. Keep in mind that your thoughts create your reality. Watch what you think. You might just get or create what you are dwelling on. Make your thoughts happy and rechannel your fear into courage. It's okay to have fear. Sometimes fear of death keeps us alive and even helps us do things that we would normally never be able to do. But to let fear control you is to be out of control. And I'm afraid I'm out of time for today. So give me a subscription, please. And if you like the video, I would appreciate a like. If you didn't like the video, you can sure as heck give me a thumbs down. I appreciate that too. And look for a video coming out real soon on this channel. I've been making them every day so far. Well, 3 days. But, we keep on going forward. Okay, bye. I gotta go. Time's up.